Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron for Kaiserredux as Bohemia. Now, last time, our great leader sadly passed away, Mr. T.G. Masaryk? Yeah, Masaryk, I guessed that correctly. Now we're led by Volta Banash, who just won the elections in what was apparently a pretty tight race. And now we're here. We have the victory of the Realists. The expected winners of the election, the Czechoslovakia Strana Pokrova of the Czech Progressive Party, and more commonly known as the Realist, under Banash, have taken the mantle of power. Banash already basically ran the nation as Masaryk was too ill to carry out the function of state, but now that he rules in name as well as in function, the heirs of Masaryk at the helm, that status quo is expected to be continued out as the final wishes of our national father are carried out. Let's do it. Much like his predecessor, Volta Banash stole the sudden election of 36 with sudden ferocity, as he was known to be the one truly behind Bohemian governing ever since Masaryk's illness confined him increasingly closer to his bed. Cementing a victory absolutely nobody doubts, Banash vows to continue the great Masaryk's legacy, his hand in the partners' agreement, and a vow to save Bohemia from the careening effects of Black Monday. His cabinet is much the same as it was under Masaryk, only that Masaryk's son is now the new second in command. Banash discovered his victory speech to a crowd of onlookers in the historic Vincelas Square, in the very same location where Masaryk triumphantly returned to Bohemia, with an entourage publicizing the partners' agreement at last. Prava Videshi, Governor. I was looking at what we had to do, and we're going to have to go to the Bohemian Revolution over here, do Czechoslovakia redeemed as well. We can only do this focus tree for a good long while, which, I mean, I'm okay with. We'll figure it out as we go along. Today, Radio Prague has been officially established after the recent developments in our technological sectors. Its first broadcast near the towns of Potabrady. There is much anticipation in its future uses and development. Bohemia has always been a conduit for broadcasting in Europe. With the establishment of Radio Prague, we can only expect the legacy to be progressed further, even if it is but a small station for the time being. The voice of the Bohemians. Chris, do these guys have a tree? It looks like they do. Yep. They have a very small tree, but they have a tree nonetheless. Did Malta's tree expand at all? That looks like just a generic one. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Malta's a very worthwhile attack to have in this game. Oh, there's Crete as well. The German ran Crete. Did we lose factors? I thought we had 30. We've just learned that Volta Banash has just resigned from his position as a member of the Assembly following the victory of his brother Volta Banash for the position of head of state. The exact reason for his choice is not clear at the moment, but the former deputy told journalists that he feels good. His resignation was a purely personal choice. Several members of the Assembly paid tribute to him and wished him a good continuation during a brief passage in the Assembly today. A new deputy should also take Volt, which is now vacant place. His brother Edvard officially wished him well. Well, we wish him good luck. We can deploy our new troops. Excellent. The popular Czech tale Brochi has been translated into English under the title Firefly, one of the most beloved classic children's books in the nation. Source published anonymously in 1876 by a Calvinist clergyman under the title Brochi pro male I velké děti, or Fireflies for Big and Small Children. The book largely was published without fame or acclaim until it was rediscovered and popularized in 1893 by the famous publicist Gustav Jaros. Jaros? I don't know. who famously called it perhaps the most beautiful blossom of Czech children's literature. Since then, the novel has been published again and again, becoming one of the most popular books for children in our lexicon, despite minor controversy rising against its alleged themes of moralistic conservatism and death. The story follows a young Firefly nymph boy named Adamek as he learns courage and integrity while atoning for his bad deeds by saving a 7-year-old boy from a spider. After saving the boy, he wakes with the actions he had done being revealed to be just a dream. Despite the immaterial nature of his heroic act, Adamek resolves himself to keep true to the lessons taught in his dream, become a better person for it. After turbulent times in places like the United States, the English translation of the book has seen great success and popularity in bookstores across the country and beyond, becoming a bestseller in places such as America, Australasia, South Africa, and even England and Canada, as the Anglo world, regardless of ideological conviction, gobble up this quaint and peaceful story. Perhaps it's just a temporary respite or distraction from growing horrors that consume the world stage. Our beloved Brochi touches hearts and minds at home and abroad. After their astounding defeat in the elections, the National Democratic Party has seen its influence decline dramatically. The party's internal instability increased alarmingly. After brief agony, the party was officially dissolved by its leaders. Some party members joined various existing parties. However, most of its members formed two new distinct parties. Most of them found a new party called National Unification, with more or less the same objectives as the old National Democratic Party. Still authoritarian, if not more so. More liberal members of the National Democratic Party, though outnumbered, have founded a party called the Traitors Party, which is more liberal and less autocratic than the National Unification Party, but still authoritarian. Both parties have found a base of voters and supporters, which gives them a chance in the upcoming elections. It remains to be seen whether these two new parties, born from the carcass of the old National Democratic Party, will play a significant role in the political life of our nation. Even more division. It can never just be so simple, can it be? The KUK Evidence Bureau, the intelligence agency of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, has turned a contingent of agents towards meddling in our election. Specifically, this means engineering a party for CSD, SD, RSZML, or CSL, and at all costs making sure the National Democrats do not win. Arnold Deutsch, a confirmed agent, was apprehended and given a trial in Bohemia against Austrian law. He was set free to Vienna's demands, but that has not stopped the news from leaking to the public eye. Damn Viennese. One of the most vehemently progressive anti-Austrian movements in Bohemia, the Realist, has stood as a bastion of pro-Czech, anti-Austrian policy for ages. In the wake of the Partners' Agreement, after the recent slew of useless reforms from King Kaiser Karl I, many worried Czech politicians have been soothed by the Viennese sirens, but these empty promises and token reforms have done little to assuage the Realists. The underlying root caused for all this Austrophobia was largely caused by the ineffectual reforms and failed initiatives published by Vienna that had never gone anywhere, leaving many Czechs to chafe under Habsburg rule despite our supposed autonomy. Autonomy we are now finally granted, though many still yearn for something greater. We desire true freedom, and the fools in Vienna refuse to give it. But now that they are finally granting us some semblance of Republican freedoms, our rabid Austrophobia has refused to slowly subside. This new dynamic, however, has not killed the seed of revolutions or the fire of Czechoslovak nationalism. Now elected by our people through democratic mandates free from Vienna's meddling, the Realists under former Vice Governor Banash are ready to lead the nation to greatness. No stranger media manipulation, Banash is certainly one for the newsreels, which was chiefly shown in the last election. Our victory was carried by the voices of our people, but we could not have done it alone. Through extensive television and radio advertisements, debates, and other forms of media manipulation, the Realists brought their cause far above all others, swaying the hearts and minds of the masses with the power of modern technology. The Realist media empire is extensive, and it shall be maintained so that our landslide victories may continue to roll in. In terms of our future goals, we plan to continue chipping away at Austrian Christian social structures, enacting harsher penalties for syndicalists and extremists, and will attempt to give ourselves leeway and the means of personal politics. To garner additional support and aid within our nation, we shall also push to enact larger welfare programs to mobilize women in this dire time, in order to give the economy a needed boost going forward. Though reliable, transparent, socially responsible, and populist policies, anti-Austrian and anti-extremist stances, with our media attack dogs at the ready, the Realists shall bring freedom and modernity to our nation, I'm guessing. For a better nation, free from Austria and radicalism. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and get working towards we'll do the mandate of democracy. Until 26th, the Kaiser scorned Bohemian democracy and only accepted it when he was forced to. Given a chance, he would undermine it without another thought, but uphold Bohemian democracy not only as an example to ourselves, but as an example to the world. What is Austria up to, by the way? Passing the bottleneck. We're doing popular welfare reforms. They're not doing this one, at least, which they seem to keep doing. They've done, like, the past two Kaiserredux games I've done. So I'm glad to see something different here. In all fairness. But still is a little bit suspect. I mean, the Austrians are meddling in our affairs. It's been made clear already. I'll train up another round of these guys, and then I think I'll go ahead and switch these guys out there. A liberal victory in Canada. Never hope to keep Mackenzie King down. We'll do concentrated industry. Rivna uprising. Interesting. Seems that calm cannot reign forever in the Sudetenland. We've just learned that the ideologist nationalist activist Konrad Heinlein has created his own political party called the Deutsche Böhmische Heimatfront. Inspired the Austro-populist intellectual and political current, Heinlein's new party, proudly anti-Czech, officially calls for a complete autonomy for the German people living in our country. However, this is only cover. The vast majority of party members are calling for complete self-determination for the Germans they consider oppressed by our government. Some party members even call for the reattachment of our land's populated majority Germans to the neighboring Germany. Although the party has gained supporters among our German populace, it remains a minority party for the time being, although it could be the source of violence and conflict in a not too distant future. Keep an eye on them. I believe that's the guy who they modeled, is it Dressler? I forget the Kaiserredux, not the Kaiserredux, the Führerreich guy. Let's see who they modeled him after. German established control over Crimea. Really? Oh. Oh. Interesting. Anyway. We'll go ahead and not facing much in the way of syndicalism, so not worried too much about that. We'll have to do all that eventually, though, but let's work on the great we'll be the great compromiser to start off with. Banash is a man of words, great words, the best words, in fact. While he ran the state in Maastricht's stead, he became known as a great compromiser for his magnificent efforts in diplomacy. It will find middle ground where many assumed none existed. These talents will be mighty valuable to him and his administration. Oh! Well, it's gonna be interesting. With a schism forming between us and the decaying Habsburg Empire, life for the average citizen has been nothing short of chaotic. Seemingly every facet of life has been thrown upside down. The religious life of our nation is no exception to this. St. Gustav Adolf Prochatska, priest of the Roman Catholic Church, along with myriad of other priests, theologians, and like-minded individuals, declared the birth of the Czechoslovak Church, taking inspiration and claiming direct succession from long-dead Jan Hus. The so-called Czechoslovak Church has become the largest organized grouping of Hussites since the beginning of Habsburg rule over Bohemia. The formation of this new Hussite Church is not something occurring out of thin air, as is the case with many schisms. Beginning simply as the Jednota, the group would eventually become the CC, what was originally a group dedicated to promoting the heresy of modernism within the church. When church authorities rejected these proposals, the group broke off. While the fact that these men broke off from the majority religion of our nation is causing much internal strife within the Catholic Church, many are actually lauding it. Those who laud the break off claim it is similar to a body purging itself of foreign bodies, and that in time the church will be all the stronger. Regardless, the nation is now home to the heirs of Jan Hus, but if anything comes of that legacy, remains to be seen. Quite an unexpected development, indeed. I don't think I'm complaining, but it's interesting, certainly. The fall of Rome. Old Alf Landon elected president. As a good harvest season rolls in, it's become clear that this year, 1936, will be a good one. This is my relief as the Berlin stock market crashes, cut imports of everything, including the food, and this will help keep the storerooms full in the meantime as the world recovers. Also, the surplus can be sold for a tidy profit. Not only all of this, but it's also pleased the agrarians, who have praised the brave farmer and declared that Bohemia is truly the breadbasket of Europe. Finally, some good fucking news. Beautiful. Good compromiser. So we have to do the we have to decide whether we want to do the Czechoslovak ideal or not. In order to do any of these military stuff. That's what it's looking like to me, at least. Alright, let's get going. Oh, let's work on this right now. Give us more, a little bit less of a hit to recruit population. For German Bohemians, the election of Banash was a continuation of a system that they already hated. However, while the population might reject us, the politicians are always easier to influence. If we reach out in agreement with these politicians, then maybe they can snuff out the fires at home. We can hope, eh? We'll also have to stop this video here, though. So, thanks so much for watching, gang. Like if you liked, dislike if you didn't, leave the comments down in the comment section below. I read the comments I get. You know the deal by now. Check out the links down in the description box below. Hit the sub button for uploads weekly as well as occasionally Saturdays. And that's it for now, friends. Thank you all for watching. My name has been Mr. Dogbot333, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye now.